What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today's a little special episode, doing a little VR for the GOAT. Top loaded. He wanted to talk to us about our collections that we have, and who we really PC, and not just baseball or sports cards, or anything else that you collect. I've gone through different phases through the years and everything. Currently, my main goal is baseball cards. As a lot of you know, I have three main players that I collect. I collect Don Mattingly. Let me get my light a little bit better here. There we go. Don Mattingly. Wade Boggs. And Gleyber Torres. Now, Don Mattingly and Wade Boggs, I grew up watching them play. As you see, I have Gleybers, a lot of Gleybers lately. Don Mattingly, this year's Don Russ. I got picked up a bunch of those from a friend. There's a Gleyber prospect when he was with the Cubs. There's a lot of Mattingly's I picked up. But Wade Boggs, like you said, Mattingly and Boggs, I grew up watching. To begin with, I was a Mattingly only fan. He was at that time when I was a kid growing up. I was 10 years old or 11 years old when Mattingly came in. And I was just getting the baseball. I was collecting baseball cards back then. And we would go to school. I remember we had a gym teacher there. He would trade cards with all the kids. He had a huge stack of cards and everything, and every day after school we'd go over to the school and do trades with him. That's really what got me into baseball cards way back when. Now, like most people, I got out of it, and 2018 I got back into it. Late 2018, 2019. And started collecting again. Now, Wade Boggs, I was always a fan of Wade Boggs, but because he was with Boston earlier in my year, I did not follow him, or was not a fan of him because he was with Boston. But as I grew older, I realized how much of a great player he was. And then he came to play for the Yankees, which solidified everything about him that I liked. But it's funny because the one great memory that I have of Wade Boggs playing has nothing to do with him fielding or hitting the ball. I mean, watched him many a times, but he came in to a game for the Yankees and pitched. It was a blowout game, and they brought him in, and he threw the crappiest junk ball out there. And the pure joy that he had on his face pitching was awesome. He was out there having the time of his life. He ended up getting out the side. I think he struck out two that inning also. Didn't give up a run. But it was just a player enjoying the time of his life, playing the game that he loves. That's really what turned me on to Wade Boggs, and that's really why I wanted to collect his cards. And then 2018, Gleyber Torres came around, and I really liked the way he played the game. He's very down to earth. He would do anything he could to play the game, and it showed on the field. He went through some slumps and everything. Fortunately, the Yankees ended up trading him to Detroit, and he's playing great with Detroit. Now, I do not collect just Yankees. Now, I usually when I get in breaks, I'm always going for Yankees, and usually not anybody else. Love the Yankees. I watch the Yankees all the time. But when it comes to Wade Boggs, I collect Wade Boggs in Boston. I collect Wade Boggs in Tampa. Mattingly, he only played for Yankees, so I don't have to worry about. He does have some coaching cards that I've picked up. But Glaber started out with the Cubs as a prospect with the Yankees. Now he's with Detroit, and I am collecting his cards with Detroit. As you can see here, Detroit. But Detroit. I like the player, so I'll collect him. Doesn't matter what team he's on. And I love watching baseball. It doesn't matter who's on. So, but that is mainly my baseball. But I don't have a whole lot of autographs. I thought about getting into TTMs. I really don't know how to go about to do that. And right now, I really don't have the time to get into that. I have packages like crazy that I have not even opened yet. I even have a package here, a rack from the GOAT himself. I have not gone through yet. I've opened it up and kind of peeked inside, but I've not gone through anything yet. I want to give it time so I can really get into it and record it and put it out there for everybody. But yeah, I love all the different cards that you have. I created my own spreadsheets of the 3 players. Every card that's out there, I have on a list, and I highlight which ones I have and which ones I don't have. That way, it makes it a little bit easier to collect, so I'm not constantly buying the same card over and over again, which I've done, but it's all right. I have a huge stack over here. It's about to fall because I got to put them away, but I haven't yet. I did buy some new shelving units that specifically for cards that I'm going to be putting these in. They hold graded cards, or not graded cards, top-loaded cards. And again, I haven't had time to get through it yet. But I used to collect comics, and I really love comics. Growing up, I was very much an art student. So when I collected comics, I didn't collect comics because of certain characters or certain lines like Marvel or DC. I collect all them. I collected comics because I enjoyed the art. Didn't had nothing to do with the storylines or anything like that. Character development. It was the art that drew me to these, and not just like the cover art. The actual inside art had to be good as well. And I was collecting in the early 90s. I started some collecting, and I gravitated towards Image comics. Image had just come out, but the artwork was phenomenal. There was a lot of new series that came out, series that piqued my interest and everything, but the artwork was phenomenal. So I started getting into them. And then I came across one of my favorite series was Evil Ernie. Loved this set, and Lady Death. Lady Death is part of the Evil Ernie world, and the art was phenomenal. The content was great, and as a young male, Lady Death, that was superb. So I started collecting some of those, and then the one artist that I really gravitated towards, especially with Image and great art, was Todd McFarlane. When he created Spawn, it just blew me away what somebody can do with a comic book. I don't have any of my comic books out. I have them packed away. I can't get to them easily, so I figured I'd pull up some pictures, some of the comics that I do have. But Todd McFarlane was one of my leading artists that I collected. And then he came out with The Amazing Spider-Man. And again, the artwork was phenomenal. Then they came out with the whole toy line and everything like that. He became really popular, but Spawn was what really put him on the map, and love Spawn. Going along with the comics and everything, I had collected, as you can see back here, these heavy metal magazines back when I was younger too. I had quite a few of them. I picked this set up from Stuff Geeks Rips. It's all the covers of, not all of them, but of the early years and everything like that. And I love that set. And I just recently found out that they started coming out with heavy metal again. I was not able to find the first one, but I did find the second one. So this is number 2. So they started to come out with it again. I went to my LCS and found number 2. So love that. So I'm going to start picking those up again. But the two main things, like I said, was baseball cards and comic books back then. Now with sports cards, I do collect some New York Rangers. This is a card from Canadian Card Breakers. Jason sent me some Ranger cards here. Again, another pack that I got. I set aside. I have not opened yet. Let's see what's in it right now. Love watching the Rangers play. Timmy Panarin, the Bread Man. There we go. Igor. Chris Kreider, no longer with the team, just got traded. Lafreniere, I like him. That's cool. I haven't seen that one yet. There's Igor again. We got a Judge from 2019 Chronicles. This is the green parallel. Clay Holmes, Diamante, and Garrett Cole, Titan from Chronicles. So, but yeah, I do collect Ranger cards. And somewhat to an even lesser level, New York Giant football cards. So, I do follow the Knicks as well. However, I don't collect basketball. You got to draw a line somewhere. So, I do not collect them. But that is my main collections that I do. Like I said, I haven't collected comics in many, many years. Like I said, early to late 90s is when I collected, and I stopped. They became too expensive for me to collect because I had bills to pay and everything. And I go back into the LCS now. I look at the comics and I don't even know where to begin. So I just kind of put that out, but I was happy to see Heavy Metal came back out. So getting back with that. I have started getting into some model building. I have this wooden model here. I was given another one. Now, when it comes to model building, it's got to be pickup trucks. I love pickup trucks. My wife bought me this one, and I picked this, or my son bought this for me a while ago, and I haven't even touched it yet, but it's another model. 76 Chevy Sport Sidestep. As I start getting into those, I may record them and put them on the channel, just to kind of do another set, but hopefully I can start getting some time. I got a lot of cards to sort through, and I got a bunch of unopened product downstairs from 2019 on. I would buy blasters. It's mostly retail. and I put it aside, and then I'd forget about it. So I still have a lot of stuff to open on a rainy day someday, but I do like, with the baseball cards, I do like putting Topps flagship full sets together. I don't buy the factory sets. I like hand collating the sets as I pull them. It's just so much more fun. You get more out of it. But, and the other, one more thing that I do collect, again, still with baseball cards, but go with factory sets. I collect, I got these binders, Yankee team sets from every year. Oops. I go through these as I pick them up. I go through and add them to the binders. Just going through, I figured, I'll start team sets, and I'm really enjoying the team sets. Like this set, I'm getting almost every card in the 150th gold stamp. So I'm trying to fill that with the 150. I also thought about doing, which I started up to this year, doing the gold sets. This is Aaron Judge gold there. Slowly I might get the Navarro's gold. Instead of just doing the base, actually doing the gold parallels. So, but I do collect the Yankee team sets as well as the complete factory sets too, the flagship sets. So, all right, that is my VR for Branden Jensen. Good luck to everybody in the giveaways. He's got a great channel. I have multiple stacks set aside for rack packs for other people as well. I put them aside, I pull cards, I put them aside, pull cards, put them aside, and eventually when I get enough to send out, I'll send them all out. But, alright guys, have a great night, stay safe, keep repping.